couple of weeks ago, I talked about shares of JP Morgan, and what I talked about at the time was essentially a very steep rally in the stock. And the chart I specifically pointed out was this one here. This is a longer term chart. If you look at the x-axis at the bottom, goes back to about 2012 or so. So this is a pretty longer standing upward moving trend that this stock continues to sort of move within. But again, we've reached the very upper end of that channel. And I still think, and this is a reiteration here today, that it's going to be very difficult for the stock to go meaningfully higher until it pauses at least for the time being. So that's one little thing, an update that is unchanged. The other thing I want to show you is it's not just the stock in absolute terms. There's also something called price to book value. So I'm going to open this up here, and I'm going to make this chart a bit larger. This is the price to book value of shares of JP Morgan. I'm going to go to an all-time chart, and you can see that yes, there were times when this stock was more expensive from a price to book value, namely just basically around the dot-com bubble. But outside of that, JP Morgan shares have never, or at least not since then, traded anywhere near those levels. So, you know, we're looking at a 2.5 times a book value, and that is certainly not something that we think is very cheap at this point. You know, 1 times, 1.5 times, anything like that would probably be more appropriate. All this being equal. On top of that, you know, Jamie Dimon himself, he's the CEO, has repeatedly said that he's not willing to buy the stock here, and he's actually been selling it himself if you look at the insider trading reports and so on and so forth. Lastly, and this is more near term, so this might be more sort of, you know, short term, something to pay attention to. Again, remember, we're at the very upper end of that range that I just mentioned to you before, and basically what we saw last week on Friday is the stock was down about 3%. Now, the stock has done that many times before. That alone is not a reason to panic. In fact, the stock was down 2.3% just on August 1st. The stock was down 3.15% on July 8th, and again 3.1-ish% or so the other day. What I am seeing, though, is that the stock is beginning to struggle around anytime it really tries to get above the $300 mark, which is a round number. You can see it struggles. It's hard to find follow through. We certainly don't have a momentum sell signal here yet, or a short signal. But these are all the kind of things that I'm watching very closely. And last but not least, the reason I'm mentioning this even more because JP Morgan's correlation to the S&P 500 is extremely high. I think JP Morgan is a bit more of a leading indicator, so that might be a bit of some other context here to keep in mind. Hope it helps. We'll see you in the next video. If this video helped you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, you give us a thumbs up like, and if you want to see this approach in action, you will want to join us in our Set the Market morning call, which happens at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday through Thursday. Make sure you join us for that in the link down below. Again, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.